Welcome to Business Globe. Let's take a look at some highlights from the media launch of collaboration between G.C. Foster College and Bethlehem Moravian College.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
And let me introduce myself. My name is David Mays, and really what qualifies me to be here as chair of the proceedings is that I went to school down the road. And it was not Hampton. I just want to get that clear. And my principal sitting here on my left says, Chairman, do not talk about G.C. Foster all day, right? And not about Monroe. It's not about them today. It's about us. And it's about us, and I want to welcome you to the Bethlehem Moravian College this morning. It's a media launch of the collaboration between Bethlehem and G.C. Foster College. And it is truly quite a historic moment and a great pleasure for us. So let me introduce the members of our head table. And I'd like to start on my right, and that is our Member of Parliament, Mr. Franklin Witter. Welcome, Franklin. Good to see you again. And Dr. Gardner, who is VP Academics here at Bethlehem. And not allowed to sit at the head table is our VP Academics of G.C. Foster, and she's sitting right down there, Sophia Watson-White. And representing the chairman of Bethlehem this morning is Dr. Hendricks, who has a connection with St. Elizabeth. His son went to Monroe College, so let me get that out of the way. And he indeed went to the powerhouse in academics and sports, St. Elizabeth Technical High School. And it shows you the respect that we Monroe people have for Steph. It is, you've earned it, I tell you that. And on my left, an extreme left, is the person that welcomed me this morning, Mr. Malcolm, who is the program coordinator. Mr. Malcolm, you made me feel right at home when I saw you. Thank you, right? And our program coordinator at G.C. Foster, the volleyball expert in Jamaica, Mr. Steve Davis. And then, on my immediate left, we call him Coach. Friends of his call him Willow. He's now the principal of G.C. Foster College. He is the technical director of the Jamaica Track and Field program. I don't know why he's here today, because there's a selection committee meeting going on at the J3 this morning. And he says, no problem, I'd rather be here with all of you at Bethlehem. So. We at GC are indeed looking forward to this collaboration, and it's important for both of us. Bethlehem, you've got past your 150th anniversary. I wish we were here then to do that with you. Well, guess what? We, in 2 years' time, will be celebrating our 40th anniversary. And we wish you at Bethlehem to be part of that celebration with us. We think this is important for a number of reasons. And it is, of course, that we're going to share our knowledge for the benefit of Jamaica and benefit to particularly the young people. And that is why we are here this morning. And therefore, I want to welcome the students of Bethlehem who are here with us and the students of G.C. Foster. It is for that reason that we work hard for education in this country. And every one of us are part of that mission, and we are seeking to find the pathways for our development of our country through education. I am very pleased to be, particularly pleased to be part of this function because the Moravian Church is so important to us, particularly the work that has been done by them in the West, and may long not continue. And just for the fact that one of the families that has been truly, absolutely wonderful to me during my life is the Kiddines family. And they are the pillars and strengths of the Moravian Church on that side of the island, I can tell you. Prudence and our girls, Jill and Trudy, and absolutely wonderful family. So, okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to have some addresses and the lineup. We're going to have the prayer, okay? We're going to invite the Reverend Reginald Seymour to say the opening prayer. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend. And now the welcome from Dr. Gardner.
Chairman of the Board of the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, and Chairman of this morning's function. Ladies and gentlemen all, good morning. It is a beautiful and wonderful day, and it gives me pleasure to welcome you to this media launch and to the Bethlehem Moravian College here in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Welcome to the place with the cool climate and warm-hearted people. Chaplain of the Bethlehem Moravian College, you are always with us, and we welcome you and thank you for welcoming God's presence with us this morning. Mr. David Mays, we welcome you in your capacity as chairman of the board of G.C. Foster College, and we are delighted that you have consented to chair the program today. And so we also welcome you in that capacity. Dr. Derek Hendricks, representative of the Board of Management of the Bethlehem Moravian College, welcome. It is fitting that you should represent the board here today, since on the Board of Management you represent the Smallville community. Special welcome, therefore. With us today are administrators of both institutions, as you would have heard before. From the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, we have acting principal Mr. Maurice Wilson, acting vice principal of academic affairs, Mrs. Sophia Watson-White, and from Bethlehem Moravian College is acting vice principal of administrative affairs, Mrs. Claudine Blythe-Miles. Welcome to you all. Mrs. Blythe-Miles and I are particularly happy to see you, our co-administrators from G.C. Foster College. The chairman of the Board of Management of the Bethlehem Moravian College, Mr. Lowell Morgan, and our acting principal, Mrs. Andrea Wilson-Graham, send their blessings for today. They pray that it's a success. They could not be with us. I also welcome heartily our Member of Parliament, Mr. Frank Witter. Sir, we know how busy you are, and we are pleased that you could share with us in this important event in your constituency. Mr. Steve Davis, coordinator of the program at G.C. Foster that we are here to launch, we especially welcome you. We await anxiously the information that you have for us about the program. There are others who will join us. We anticipate that Mr. Jason Hensel, chairman of the Breads Foundation and EduSports, will join us, as well as Mr. Christopher Somuda, president of the Jamaica Olympic Association. We pray they get here safely. And we welcome our own Mrs. Shauna Groves and Mr. Jerome Smith. They will bring music to our ears a little later in the program. To the staff and students of the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, we bid you hearty welcome. We also welcome the staff and students of our own Bethlehem Moravian College. We are happy to see you all. This media launch would not be a media launch were it not for the media houses. And so we welcome the team from BOJ, CVM, TVJ, and JIS. We appreciate, sirs, the coverage. It is very good to have you all. Enjoy the Bethlehem hospitality and enjoy the program. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Dr. Gardner. Beautifully said. We've met some of the nicest people in Jamaica this morning, and I must tell you that I was greeted at the front door by a young lady named Miss Pagan. And she said to me, "Goodness, you're tall." And I said, yes. When I went to Monroe, I was 6'4", and now I'm 6'3". And she said, "Does that mean when I get old, I'm going to be shorter?" And I said, "No, you're going to be so beautiful. Nobody's going to know. We won't know any difference at all." So, our next speaker, the Member of Parliament for this area, considers himself, well, he's a former mayor, and he considers himself a former sportsman. I had the pleasure of working with him on a project. Was it at Cheesefield? Cheapside. Apologies. Franklin came. I was chairman of the Sports Development Foundation at the time, and Franklin came in to see me, and he said, "You know, to get to Monroe, you have to drive through places like Junction, and if you want to go to Monroe again, I need this project fixed." So I said, "Well, okay, let's do it." And I think the project turned out well, Franklin. I think it was a good project. And of course, the emphasis then was on cricket. And everybody on that side of St. Elizabeth is named Powell. And so I was introduced to probably 5 generations of Powells that day when we had the opening. But Franklin continued to do the work in St. Elizabeth, and we're now going to invite you to address this gathering.
Thank you very much, my good friend, Mr. Mays. And you mentioned that I'm a former sport person, but I think the word farmer should not be used in this context. I am still playing cricket. Yes, still playing cricket. Members from these 2 noble institutions, Bethlehem Moravian College and GC Foster, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good morning to you. Good morning. I must admit that I'm very, very happy to be sharing with you this morning in this wonderful exercise. When I got the invitation, I never hesitated. As you know, this time of the year, we, as political representatives, we are engaged in so many different activities. Every single school now is having a graduation. When we were going to school, you only graduate from high school and college. Now, primary school, infant school, basic school, everybody is having graduation. I don't think it's a bad idea anyway, because when I attend these graduations and I see the interest that is being displayed by the parents and the community, I think it will go a far way in improving our education system. So I always try to give support to them. But today I'm here to endorse this program. I think it's a wonderful program for these 2 noble institutions to come together to find ways and means to improve on the human resources in relation to sports. As you know, sports in Jamaica is one of the most important areas of our development. I was just reading something in the paper yesterday, a young lady who had an experience. She traveled to Russia to witness the World Cup, and she said that when she got into Russia, the first thing that greeted her, "You're from Jamaica. You're from the beautiful country. You're from the country of Bob Marley and Usain Bolt." Everybody was so happy and excited to meet somebody from Jamaica because of Usain Bolt and Bob Marley. So therefore, we have good reasons, and I really believe that this program will go a far way in improving on what we have. Because, you know, I can recall 20 years ago when West Indies was on top of world cricket. And today, as a cricketer, I am so frustrated some of the time when I listen to the performance of the West Indies. And I really believe that one of the problems that caused us to reach this stage in cricket is as a result of our own actions. I believe that we did not put enough in terms of making sure that we develop the persons who trained the cricketers, the persons who support the cricketers. And we were depending then on raw talent. And much effort was not put into the development. And I think we would have suffered as a result of that. So I really believe that this initiative will seek to address that problem that we had as it relates to cricket. And I know that GC Foster is one of the institutions that has done well in the development of sports in Jamaica. And Bethlehem is one of the institutions that would have done well in the development of the delivery of education in Jamaica. And therefore, I think it is important that we give all the support to these two institutions. Bethlehem is always close to my heart because my daughter is a past student here. And I'm proud of her. She's doing well in the delivery of education in St. Elizabeth. And I know that it is as a result of the training that she would have received here at this institution. And therefore, I'm here to give support to the two institutions for this collaborative effort in ensuring that we develop the human resources in relation to sporting activities. I do hope that you will have a full take in terms of persons who want to be a part of this exercise. And I want to say to you that I am also contemplating to be a part of this program. When I spoke to my daughter last night, when she was reminding me about the function, I said to her, I'm going to speak to the persons, the organizers, to let me know how best I can be able to participate. as a politician, you are very busy, so maybe you could set up a special, line for me to participate in the program. I want to be able to continue to make contribution in sports when I retire from politics. So I'm willing to be a part of this program. So I'll speak to you after the function. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, MP Witter. Welcome to the team. And our team, unlike cricket, is not 11. There are thousands of us on this team, and we're working all together to make sports and to make hospitality and to make all these other things so different. And I want to put Mr. Malcolm on the spot. We were outside talking about the program at Bethlehem, and he said we are doing different things. And one of the things is our hospitality and tourism program here at Bethlehem. And that's so interesting because I'm going to put Sophia Watson-White on the spot too, because we at GC are going through some changes. We have a new team in academics, and we're very proud of them. And I want to mention one of the top track and field coaches who has journeyed here from GC Foster to be with us, Mr. Danny Hawthorne. Danny, where are you? Welcome. You told me that you also can coach football, is that true? You have level 1 or level 2? All of them? To 5? Okay. That means you can help me, but maybe it's too late for me. Seriously, Dr. Gardner, we are doing things at GC Foster now, and we are now tweaking that model in that the growth of the hospitality and the tourism industry in this country is phenomenal. And I have some family members that are connected, and I enjoy talking with them. They own 2 hotels in Jamaica. They own Tracks and Records in Montego Bay as well. And my son is GM over at Jamaica Inn. So I don't get much time not to think about tourism. And so what you're doing at Bethlehem is so important because we would like that to be part of what we do on the sports side of GC so that our graduates are able to enter that sector with the experience and training and qualifications to be able to do water sports, to do beach sports, to be event managers, coordinators. To speak Spanish is very important nowadays. And other sports activities, so that we join with you in that evolution that's taking place. The other thing that we're doing at GC Foster is that we already have 100 students that are being trained in the BPO industry. So we hope that in months to come, they will be graduating from I think it's a 1-year training program. And they can move right into the BPO, the business outsourcing business, formerly called call centers. And the growth of that, particularly in the metropolitan area in Kingston and St. Andrew, is absolutely phenomenal. And for those who say that people in sports don't invest in business, I'd like to tell you that at 75 Halfway Tree Road, you look at the tower crane that's there, it's the Usain Bolt BPO. I think it's going to end up like a 6 or 7 story building that he has invested his money in. So it's wonderful to see that. But the person that can speak more knowledgeably about GC Foster than I, and there are many people that can do that, by the way, We didn't have him on the program, but we found a slot for him, and we didn't give him any warning. And he said to me, but Chair, you know I was at the National Stadium on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? I said, I would never have thought so. I would never have thought so. Not when I saw those, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But I was going to refer to a card situation at the National Stadium, but I won't. Because I know you didn't have anything to do with that. But ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed, I think, a very special opportunity for me to introduce to you the new, well, let me say, acting principal of G.C. Foster College, Mr. Maurice Wilson, who went to Michael, by the way. And he went to G.C. Foster after. And we held on to him. By the way, Ms. Fagan has a connection with G.C. Foster. Ms. Fagan is the assistant librarian at Bethlehem. And the librarian came from G.C. Foster. So wherever I go in Jamaica, I always try to find a connection, right? So we found a connection for the Myconian this morning. A wonderful coach, a wonderful person, Mr. Maurice Wilson.
It is obvious that the chair is not one of my supporters. He would have known of the performances of my team this weekend. The first thing I told him this morning that I felt as if I was in the contender series, because last year we won about 4 or 5 national titles, and this year we played second fiddle. A lot of seconds, but no winners. So, you know, I was badly beaten over the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure being here this morning. Let me first inform you that someone very special to me went to this institution. And I'm not going to say that this is one of the main reasons why there's this collaboration. But my wife went to Bethlehem many, many years ago. Let me thank Mr. Chairman for taking care of business. Let me acknowledge again the presence of the Member of Parliament, Mr. Frank Witter, Mr. Chaplain, Dr. Gardner, Sophia Watson-White, VP from G.C. Foster, VP from Bethlehem, Mr. Danny Hawthorne, Mr. Kanai Sr., former star footballer from Stets. He's now a member of staff, one of our senior lecturers. Sitting over there, just from, where is it? Burn Savannah? Bull Savannah. Mark Hendricks. Mr. Kern Spencer, who is now fully involved in the media. And also in the audience is batchmate Jennifer Brown. I hope I would have captured the persons who I know. And also to the Bethlehem family, it's a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it's good to speak from the heart. There's no paper in my breast pocket, and I was warned about when you're in certain position, you should travel with that piece of paper. But I'm going to speak from the heart this morning. First of all, let me say that a couple months ago, I was at a function at the Pegasus, and I think Don Webby was a guest speaker. And he was talking about how sports contribute to the GDP, about 4% to the GDP of Jamaica. But you know, and our Member of Parliament is here, with all due respect. We talk about the contribution, but what are the things that we are doing? There are some basic things that we're not doing, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the human resource here available in Jamaica. The Member of Parliament spoke about West Indies cricket and not having that sort of continuity. The same has happened to football. In '98, we went to the World Cup.
Thanks for watching Business Globe.